Here's the movie review you've been waiting for. The movie I was talking about in the previous video, a pretty kick-ass movie I've seen. I got a chance to see. It was just insanity. Of course, I'm talking about Hardcore Henry.
Yeah. Don't worry about how I get my money.
The GoCam movie to an extreme, right? So, if you don't want to know, too much about it, I suggest you go and shut this video down. You know what I mean? Go watch some other bullshit, maybe. So this movie was extremely violent. There's a lot of there was some drug use, some alcohol use, a lot of vulgarity, just a lot. It's an action movie. If you don't want to see, if you're expecting to go see this movie and think that there's basically there's less of a storyline than there is action, so they kind of just want to push into that right away. And I don't blame them. I mean, if you're gonna have a movie that's shot from a headset, so you could be able to take the perspective of the person that the movie's about, you're not really gonna want to see him do a lot of dialogue. You're gonna want to see him do a lot of, action and shit, right? Jumping out of planes, seeing the stuff that he experiences and feeling like, whoa, you're almost moving around with it, like kind of like you do with me, because I'm such a fucking animated person, right? Oh, speaking of which, so there is no voice to this guy. It takes a minute before you could actually even hear him say anything or whatever, throughout the whole movie. And then there's the plot. Okay, we've all seen movies that have to do with super soldiers. Talking about Universal Soldier. That kind of genetically enhanced soldier kind of movie. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of all the names of them. Yeah, basically it was like that. It was that kind of storyline. He wasn't really a soldier as much as he was a scheme, just something that basically this dude was using for his own pleasure. So also, along with the storyline of this, the list of really not very known actors, there's the villain. The villain is this, of course, another albino with some mystical powers, and doesn't really explain how the fuck that works. He's sitting there trying to trap his the main character's wife and hold her hostage, which is once again a whole bunch of bullshit, because it's not really his wife. It's the bad guy's girlfriend. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense why they would do that. Just more mind manipulation, right? So this bionic hero of ours goes through a bunch of shit trying to save this wife that he thinks is his wife for no real reason whatsoever, and winds up being the toughest of all these genetically enhanced people or whatever, with a bionic arm and bionic leg and all kinds of crazy shit, right? There's the fight scene where he fights the other genetic enhanced people, and that was awesome. It was a really, really good fight scene. There's, you can't really destroy these guys. They kind of reboot, you know what I mean, on command, because of this villain. Keep in mind, this villain is, I think, more reminiscent of the guy that plays Dexter on the movie Gamer. I don't know. Yeah, so kind of interesting, kind of crazy. But different. So there's also the comedy relief that always has to be in a movie, especially of something of this kind of magnitude. And the guy that's the comedy relief in the whole movie is the guy from District 9.
All I wanna do is make the whole crowd bounce, y'all. Instructions to this game is instinct mixed with...
He pops up in and out of the movie, gets burned, gets blown up, gets shot, all kinds of shit, and then pops up as a different version of him. And it gets confusing because you're like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? Like, how is he, possibly able to, come back alive like that and be a different person just in milliseconds? And how is he finding the hero to try to help him out with his task of stopping the main villain, right? And, well, you find out later that he himself is just another pawn in this whole scheme. He has all these androids, or I don't know, fake hymns. I don't know what else you would call them. And he's using them to be able to act out his life because he's handicapped, so he can't fucking move. He's a paraplegic. And so he uses mind like ability to get stuff to move around, though. He's doing this, almost like a virtual reality, like Surrogates. You've seen that, right? So it's basically the same kind of idea. It's him jacking into this system that allows a bunch of hymns to be able to do whatever he wants through his mind. Once again, also sounding more like Gamer, right? So it's just an odd movie. It's kind of an avant-garde kind of movie. Tons of action. You'll love it if you get a chance to see it. It's got another cameo in there. Not really sure why he's there in the first place. Because the role's not big at all. This is a really long freaking Easter egg, full, jam-packed of shit in this movie. You're probably going to need to watch it twice, honestly.